This lesson is all about air conditioning terms. And these terms are found in the International Residential Code, or IRC. Now, the code changes every few years, but the terms pretty much remain the same. So, when IRC talks about air circulation forced, okay, that's a definition that's in the definition section. It's a means of providing space conditioning utilizing movement of air through ducts or plenums by a mechanical means. Okay, so it's basically forced air circulation. IRC refers to an air conditioning system, okay, and it defines that as a system that consists of heat exchangers, blowers, filters, supply, exhaust, and return airs, and shall include any apparatus installed in connection therewith. Now, the word shall, S-H-A-L-L, is used in all codes, and it basically means will. Okay, shall and will are interchangeable. So it's basically, this is saying not only is the air conditioning system considered, for example, the ductwork, the air handler inside the building, it also includes the filters, includes the outside units, includes any heat exchangers, anything that's connected to the airflow of the building. Okay, a condensing appliance is an appliance that condenses water generated by the burning of fuels. You'll see them in large commercial applications. Condensate. It's the liquid that separates from a gas due to reduction in temperature. For example, water that condenses from flue gases, water that condenses from air circulating through the cooling coil in an air conditioning equipment. Conditioned air. It's air that's treated to control its temperature, relative humidity, and quality. And that's basically what we're doing. Everything is having to do with air quality. Air conditioning, which is temperature. Relative humidity gets the moisture out. And quality, because you're filtering the air. Conditioned area. It's the area within a building that's provided with heating and or cooling. Okay, and it has to be capable of maintaining through design or heat loss again 68 degrees during heating season and 80 degrees during the cooling season. Or has a fixed opening directly adjacent to a conditioned area. Conditioned floor area. Okay, conditioned floor area is the horizontal projection of floors associated with the conditioned space. The floor in the conditioned space is called the conditioned floor area. Conditioned space, for energy purposes, spaces within a building that is provided with heating or cooling equipment capable of maintaining through design, heat, or heat loss gain 50 degrees during the heating season and 85 degrees during the cooling season, and communicates directly with the conditioned space. For mechanical purposes, an area or room space that's being heated or cooled by any equipment or appliance. In other words, the area that we're cooling or heating is the conditioned space. Damper, volume, okay? They sometimes put commas in here, but it's basically a volume damper. It's a device that will restrict or retard or direct flow of air in any duct or the products of combustion of a heat-producing equipment, vent connector, or vent chimney. In other words, it restricts the flow of air in ductwork. Duct system is defined as a continuous passageway for the transmission of air, which in addition to ducts includes duct fittings, dampers, plenums, accessory air handling equipment, and appliances. And they will always put notes that says, for example, see Chapter 11, see Section N1101.9. That says if you're unsure of what a duct system is or if something you're working on don't know if it is a duct system, go to Chapter 11 in the IRC. Further evaporating terms are things like evaporative cooler. It's a device used for reducing air temperature by the process of evaporating water into an airstream. This is not used very heavily in the Northeast or in humid environments, but it is used extremely heavily out in the southwestern part of the country, like Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico, areas where they don't have a lot of humidity in the air. When you evaporate water, it cools the space beneath it. Guard. It's a building component or a system of building components located near the open sides of elevated walking surfaces that minimizes the possibility of fall from the walking surface to the lower level. In other words, the guard it might be a railing or something like that. A heat pump is an appliance having heating or heat cooling capability that uses refrigerant to extract heat from air, liquid, or other sources. Mechanical system, it's a system specifically addressed and regulated in this code. It's composed of components, devices, appliances, and equipment. Anything that we are working on that has devices, components, equipment that deals with a building is considered a mechanical system. Non-conditioned space, a space that is not conditioned by insulated floors, walls, or ceilings. Occupied space, it's the total area of all buildings or structures on any lot or parcel of ground projected on a horizontal plane. In other words, if it's shown on the plans, okay, excluding projections as allowed by this code. Plenum, it's a chamber that forms part of an air circulation system other than the occupied space being conditioned. Return air, it's air removed from an approved conditioned space to be recirculated or exhausted. Supply air is air delivered to a conditioned space. In other words, the air being pulled back to the air conditioning system for cooling is return air. The air coming out of the air conditioning system being delivered to the conditioned space through ducts, plenums, or from the heat exchanger of a heating, cooling, or ventilation system, that is supply air. When you look at pressures of this stuff, supply air is always a positive pressure, return air is a negative pressure. Ventilation. It's a natural and mechanical process of applying conditioned or unconditioned air or removing such air from a space. And again, if you're not sure if it's ventilation, see Chapter 11, Section N1101.9. Whole house mechanical ventilation system. It's an exhaust system, supply system, or combination that's designed to mechanically exchange indoor air from outdoor air. And those are the basic terms that you're going to see in the International Residential Code as well as the International Mechanical Code. I would suggest reviewing that chapter in the code book that is available to you through IRC or International Code Council online. There's many more definitions that apply, but these are the major ones.